Welcome to the all-new Running Tales podcast. I'm Craig Lewis.
And I'm Michelle Lewis.
Shall we have a listen to the official blurb?
Hi, my name is Michelle Lewis. 10 years ago, you'd have been lucky to see me run to the end of the road. These days, running is second nature to me. From marathons to park runs to putting my own running group through their paces. You'll often see me in suitably loud attire, getting ready to pound the pavements. And here's a secret. If I can do it, you can too. There's so many wonderful and inspiring stories in the world of running. And not just running, some of my favourite tales involve those who take to their wheelchairs, bikes or simply their own trusty feet in an attempt to get fitter, faster or just have some fun. In this podcast, I'm going to be in conversation with some of the most inspiring and fascinating of these people. Remember, it's your time, your speed, your way. The only person you need to keep up with is yourself.
That was all about you.
Of course, I'm the wife.
Oh, it's absolutely outrageous, but basically it is all about you because you've done most of the running amongst us. I just plod around the park run every now and again. But I'm here to do a few interviews as well. And we started this week with Michael Williams' new story. He's run the JOGLE. That's an unbelievable endurance race that goes from John O'Groats all the way down to Land's End in just 17 days.
I know. I focus on getting one marathon done a year. This guy does average 2 marathons a day.
Well, yeah, we look at 860 miles in 17 days, 50 plus miles a day. I mean, you have done a few marathons. How daunting does that sound to someone who's a regular marathon runner?
Well, I've done 17 marathons so far today. To date. And see, hence why teamwork. I've done 17 marathons to date, and Michael does 17 days of the JOGLE, averaging 50 miles a day, like you say. It's just unimaginable to think about.
Yeah, it really is a pretty extraordinary story. And this was his third go at it. His first one collapsed because of COVID. The pandemic was just coming on. His second one because of injury at the borders of Scotland. He goes through some unbelievable battle against injuries as he goes through it. It's really incredible.
But it goes to show no pain, no gain. And this is one determined individual. And he truly did give the spirit of, if you want it, you can achieve it.
Oh, absolutely. And that brings me really into the interview that I did with him at Park Run last weekend. And the first thing I asked him was how he felt when he reached Land's End at the end of it all.
Well, obviously, it was very emotional for me. It was a total amazing experience, you know. And to see me family, my daughter and my grandchildren there as well, I wasn't expecting that. I had a few tears running down that final few hundred metres to the end, yeah.
And I guess that makes all the effort, all the couple of goes you had before makes it all sort of worthwhile, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, totally. It was such a traumatic end. The last few days was difficult. We started suffering with shin problems and realised now it was shin splints. So yeah, it was difficult to run, and especially downhill, but made it to the end. So
we all normally love running downhill, don't we?
Yeah.
I'm always trying to figure out how it's like to get inside your head of doing these things. I know you've done a lot of long distance running before. Last weekend I did 16 miles and my knee's a bit sore and I'm like, I've gone now, I'm not going to be doing anything for a while. What's it like to just do that day after day and picking up those injuries but keep going?
What's it like? Well, you have to prepare at night. You get to the hotel, which I class as like my sanctuary. It's a place where I'm going to recover. You're totally shattered after running 50 odd miles, aches and pains all over. So you start preparing. So probably jump in the bath for half an hour and then I've got a pulse gun that I use on my muscles to try and recover, and then get some food inside me. And I know in the morning I'm gonna feel different, so try and get some sleep, which is the main thing. So just to recover, and every day, every morning, you do feel better, and you can.
So psychologically, it's sort of harder after the end of the run, in the night, than it is
Yeah.
the next morning. You feel a bit better, but
Yeah.
that routine gets you
Yeah.
through it all.
Yeah, certainly. It was difficult to sleep as well, feeling all the aches and pains in my hips, my knees, my feet. Yeah.
Because you've done lots of long distance running, haven't you? But I guess this is nothing like it.
Nothing like this, no.
Yeah.
No, to average 50 miles a day for 17 days was mind-blowing. I can't get my head around it, and each day I used to say to myself, just one day at a time, just think of the next day when you're preparing at night, and just take it one day at a time. Don't try and think of the whole thing, because you'll just get overawed.
And you're there. You started off with some other pretty serious runners, and they were all
yes.
sort of dropping like flies, weren't they? That must have been. I don't know whether that encourages you because you think, "Oh, I'm doing really well," or whether you're like, "Oh no, there's another one down."
Well, I mean, I said, you know, there's 101 things that can go wrong,
Yeah.
and when people were suffering with injuries and dropping out, I thought to myself, you know, it can happen to any of us, you know, but like I say, you got to take it day by day, and whatever happens, you have to adjust.
Yeah.
And I had a few problems which I had to adjust to after, I think it was day 7 coming out of Scotland. I started having a knee problem, so I got to Gretna on the border, and there was still 9 miles to go, and I decided to hike it. I could walk, but I couldn't run. And I thought, no, not again. I mean,
It was just after Scotland last time, wasn't it?
It was just after Scotland last time. I had a quadricep problem, and that hampered me on day 7, and on day 8 I had to drop out. So I had the same thought, no, lightning's going to strike again. But
because we should sort of tell people they can go back and listen to the other podcast you did with Michelle.
Yeah.
But this is kind of take 3 for you. COVID.
It is, yeah.
You didn't get COVID, but the pandemic knocked the whole race down first time round, and then last time you had to drop out, but this time all the way.
So with my left knee, the problem there, I could hike, and the thing is, you have to maintain 4 miles per hour or just a tad above. So day 8 was 57 miles, and I decided, because of me, I couldn't run, I could hike, I could walk fast.
Yeah.
So I done 57 miles, a tad over 4 miles an hour, which was hard. And I think that day was the hardest day for me. There was no running, it was just walking. And then got to that hotel at, I can't think where it was now, and that evening my knee kind of seized up a little bit, and that was the only time that I thought I couldn't go any further. I thought my race was over, but I prepared all my gear for the next day, went to bed, had a couple of ibuprofen that night, and had the best night's sleep actually of the whole episode, and woke up in the morning, felt so much better, and I feel better. I started running a little
Get out
bit.
and run another 50 miles.
Yeah. So completed another day. So.
And as if 50 miles a day isn't enough, am I right in thinking there was one day where you went the wrong way and added a few more?
Yeah. Day 13, there was a big low, but there was also a high in that day as well, I'll tell you. From Shrewsbury down to Wellington was day 13, and there's an old railway line that we ran down called the Strawberry Line, similar to the Brampton Valley Way, and it just goes on straight for about 6 miles. So I got probably halfway down it, went for a toilet break, got back onto this line, didn't check my watch, but I started running back the wrong way, added another 6 miles onto my day.
Wow.
But I was in good spirits. I mean, once I'd realised I'd gone wrong, oh dear, it was devastating at the time. But I carried on towards the end, and I met a guy called Adam Tango Holland. He runs, and he's got a YouTube channel, a running YouTube channel, and he's a very fast runner, and he met me and ran the last 5 miles to the end, and he asked me why was I so late. Well, I told him I got a bit lost. That was a big high because he helped me get to the end of that day.
Yeah, and I guess you look at people like him, do you, and do you think, there's another challenge? What's next?
I'm going to do, hopefully, the Lakelands 100, which runs obviously around the Lakelands, and it has about 18,000 feet of elevation. So that's my next crazy challenge.
Yeah. See, I'm a bit disappointed. We were at Parkrun today. You didn't do the Parkrun, Michael.
No, I'm still suffering with a few little niggles. I got shin splints. So I've got to take it easy for a few weeks.
And I just wanted to touch on what you did this race for. I think you were fundraising for Ukraine this time round, yeah. but also you do a lot of your running for is it cancer research in memory of your sister, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So for this one, it was for child aid for refugees coming out of Ukraine. I think I raised over £700. Such a devastating thing going on there in the Ukraine.
Well, you must be immensely proud. I don't know how you do it. It's absolutely insane. But well done.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thanks to Michael Williams for being our first guest in this new series of the Running Tales podcast. Next time I'm slogging my way round 10k, I'll be thinking of his 860 miles over 17 days. Truly extraordinary. You can still sponsor Michael for completing that amazing achievement by visiting justgiving.com/fundraising/Michael-Williams854. Now, all the money raised will go to child aid to help refugees fleeing the war in Ukraine. If you want to hear more about Michael's running story, and I have to say it includes a pretty wild moment when he hallucinated a field of cows while doing an ultra event, then you can hear his chat with Michelle on Running Tales. It's episode 11. That's all for this week. We'll be back soon with more extraordinary stories on the Running Tales podcast.